If someone were to ask you, how do you know your multiplication facts? How would you respond? Would you say that you memorized it? Would you say that you're not very good at it? Or what would you say? Well, just think about that, because in reality, multiplication facts are important. They're extremely important to the fact that your children need to learn them, because once they learn their multiplication facts, they can get to further places within math. And so what I'm going to show you today is how to sort of learn these facts, but not in the memory format. Because memorization, if as you see right here, people say memorize your facts. Memorize. You should know 2 times 2 equals 4. I say that's wrong. Memory is not the case. You want to learn those facts, and you want to learn ways to get to the product a little easier. You don't want to just memorize words and numbers and letters. That's not good. And for the most part, some people's memory isn't as good as others. So you need to come up with strategies in order to figure out that a product is a certain type of product. Today we're going to focus on multiplying zeros. All right, as you can see here, multiplication is the process of grouping numbers. So how would that look with regards of multiplying zeros? How would it look to group zeros? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you look at the picture right here, you would see that when you're multiplying something, it's like saying there are no groups of a specific number, or saying there are a specific number of groups of nothing. I'll show you here, you have no groups of 3 or 3 groups of nothing. What does that equal? Exactly, nothing. So how do you convey this to a child? How do you show them there's nothing in a group, but you still have to count the group when they know the answer is 0 themselves? Well, I do this. Grab a shoebox, right? And then put 2 shoes in it. And as you see, you have 1 box of 2 shoes. And then you ask the question, well, how many shoes are in this box? And they'll tell you 2. But then take those 2 shoes out. All right. And so now you have an empty shoebox. And you say, well, right here, I have 1 box of shoes, 1 box of empty shoes. How many shoes are in there? Exactly. They say 0. That's the way they can see, all right, I'm still counting the group, but I don't count the number because there's nothing there. So as you see in the picture right here, there is 1 box with no shoes. Therefore, it's 1 times 0, and it equals 0. Now, I know I told you not to memorize, and that's exactly correct. I don't want you to try to teach your child to memorize multiplication facts. Like I said, I want you to teach them strategies. And the strategy you can come up with when multiplying zeros is technically a rule. And the rule is anytime you multiply something times 0, the answer is 0. No matter how enormous the number is, it can be infinity times 0, it's going to all come back to 0, because at the end of the day, just like with the shoebox, there's nothing inside of it. Now, another way you can show this, and a way that your teacher is showing your child to these facts, is by grouping the numbers or by repeated addition. And so if you look at the problem, 5 times 0, right? That's like saying 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. Now, even though you've added 0 5 times, your answer is still going to be 0, right? Because all you're doing is you're just repeating that addition. Now, if I had 0 groups of 5, then there you have it. All right, with regards to 0 times 9, I know you can understand this, but this is a way that you should show your child that will correlate with what they're learning at school. If I have 0 groups of 9, again, that's 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. I think that's 5. Let me go down here. Plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. Plus 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you have it. I have 9 zeros, and if I add all those zeros up, it's going to give me 0 as well. Now, This is good to know, and it's great to teach your child because they will really get excited about having this opportunity to multiply and to know the strategy to figuring out what a multiple of 0 is, because you know it is always going to be 0. Again, remember the rule and make sure you instruct your child on understanding that rule and that strategy, so if they ever see 6 times 0, they can say 0 because they understand it. Thank you again for joining me on my learning block. Keep learning with me.